I may have found an easy and cheap way to get my onboard trailer information screen in my 2025 Chevy Silverado 2500 to read tire pressure. This is supposed to work, but can I actually get this system running? I'm anxious to find out, so let's hop to it. For years, I've been using an aftermarket tire pressure monitoring system, or TPMS, on my RVs, campers, and trailers. They are inexpensive, easy to install, and pretty reliable. They have been worth the investment, as I have had them warn me about low tire pressures and flats on quite a few occasions. Without the TPMS warning me, I might have had situations that could have created more damage to the tire and possibly even to the rig itself. Since August of 2021, I've been using this system, the TimeMate M12-3 Portable TPMS. It's proven to be very reliable and is still working even after over 3.5 years of service. I currently have it installed on my KZ Durango fifth wheel camper, and it's been doing a great job. The thing is, I recently bought a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 as my new tow vehicle, and it has some really nice towing features. In the infotainment screen, I can pull up a whole menu of towing-related displays. One of these menus that grabbed my attention is the trailer TPMS interface. If your trailer has the proper Chevy TPMS sensors embedded in its wheels, the truck system will interface with them and give real-time tire pressure and temperature readings right on the main display screen. Now that really sounds like a feature I'd like to have. Although the TimeMate works well, it uses its own portable display that I've tucked on the corner of my dashboard. Another thing about it is the display itself is not very large and it's difficult for me to see. If there is a tire problem, the unit sounds an alarm to notify me, but then I have to quickly try to see which tire is having what type of problem. Having the ability to run the sensors right into the Silverado's big display screen sounds like a much better solution. I did a web search on what equipment I need and how to set up the system. Chevy has a set of internal TPMS sensors that are available. While many TPMS systems operate at a frequency of 315 MHz, Chevy has recently moved up to 433 MHz for the trailer system. These original Chevy part sensors are guaranteed to interface, but I have a couple of issues with them. First, since they are mounted internally in the wheel, I'd need to unmount each tire and install them. That either means a bunch of work for me or me paying a tire shop to do it for me. Even more important, these things are not cheap. A set of 2 sensors is currently around $150, so for my 4 wheels on my Durango, I'd be spending over $300. Now, I'm not saying that these sensors aren't worth it, but I figured I might be able to find some aftermarket sensors that would work, so I started searching. That's when I came across this system. It uses 4 external sensors and it's listed as compatible with my truck. That would make installation much easier if they actually worked. This is made by a company called Leapy, and they clearly state that they transmit on the required 433 MHz frequency. The kit comes with the required tool to synchronize the sensors with the vehicle's computer, and the reviews generally seem positive. Best of all, the entire kit was selling for under $20. At that price, I figured, what the heck, I'd give it a try, so I ordered it. The kit arrived. As advertised, it has a scanning tool, 4 sensors, and some mounting hardware. The one thing that it doesn't come with are any instructions whatsoever, but how hard can it be to install these? Here's the new tire sensors compared to the ones I've been using. They are very similar in size and shape. On my scale, the new sensors actually weighed slightly lighter than the ones I've been using. I did read some generic installation notes from Chevy, so I knew I had to get the truck to recognize my fifth wheel camper while I programmed the sensors. To do that, I just have to plug in the camper to the truck's 7-pin outlet. The scanner tool needs its own 9-volt battery installed. Once the sensors are put on the tires and Silverado is in the learning mode, I will use it to synchronize each unit to the truck's TPMS system. On all of the other aftermarket systems I've used, the sensors are pre-assigned a wheel. Each of the sensors are marked with the wheel they have to be installed on, like FL for front left wheel. These newer sensors aren't labeled, as the Silverado system will assign them to the proper tire during the programming process. To get things started, I back the truck up to the Durango so I can plug in the electrical connection. Next, I have to switch out the old sensors for the new ones. I put the truck's ignition to the accessory setting and open up the trailer screen. I've already inputted a profile for the Durango, so I open that screen up. Now I open the TPMS system setup and follow the on-screen instructions. I press the Setup with Tool button and it asks how many tires I will be synchronizing. Durango has twin axles, so I select 4. Next, I have to input the air pressure that I will be running the tires at. The trailer tag says to fill the tires to 80 pounds cold, so 80 it is. It shows me the proper order to synchronize each tire. It says that as the tires sync, the truck's horn will honk to let me know it's successful. I press the Start Setup button and I take the sync tool back to the first tire as instructed. I press the button and wait for the truck's horn to beep, indicating a good sync. And I get nothing. No beep. I try a few times. Maybe the sensor batteries are dead. I pull off the sensor and unscrew the lid. Okay, what's this? There's a thin plastic insulator under the battery that apparently needs to be removed so that the battery will make contact. Okay, that makes sense, but it would have been nice to know that. I pull off the other 3 sensors, remove the insulators, and reinstall them on the tires. Let's give it another try. Still nothing. Either I'm doing something wrong or these are not going to work. After a bit more digging around on the internet, I think I know what's going on. I'm turning on the truck, but apparently you have to actually have the engine running for it to work. Again, that would have been good information to know. Another hint I read is that the monitors don't need to be installed on the tires. You can have them in the truck with you. You just have to be sure you remember which tire you sync with which sensor and install them in the same way. That seems like it would be a lot easier than running around to each tire. The truck engine is running and I go through the setup again. I also read that when the truck is in learning mode, it will beep the horn twice. Fingers crossed, I'm trying it again. The horn beeps. So far, so good. I'll try the first sensor. The horn will honk again if it's successful. Look at that, it actually worked. The display shows a green box indicating a good connection. I repeat the process with the other 3 sensors, keeping them in the proper order. When I finish all 4, the truck again beeps twice to let me know I've completed the programming. I install all of them on their designated wheels. The tire pressures are all showing up on the display. Looks like I need to air them up a bit. These sensors measure both the tire pressure and temperature. I'm not sure how accurate the temperature readings will be considering they are hanging on the outside of the tire. I double check the tire pressures with a hand gauge and the sensors are each within a pound. For $20, I'm very happy with this system. The big test will be finding out how long these sensors will continue working over the months and years. If you have a Chevy equipped with the trailer information system like mine, this TPMS from Leapy seems to be a good way to tie in your trailer without dropping really big bucks. I'll put the Amazon link to it in the description. On my old system from TimeMate, the only maintenance I had to do was replace the sensor's button cells every year or so. Hopefully this system from Leapy will be just as reliable. Thanks for watching my channel. An extra big thanks to all of my subscribers. You are truly appreciated. Until next episode, keep camping.